Hello everyone, I'm going to explain to you how Ratatouille is actually a parallel to the Prodigal Son. So, at the start of the movie, right? Remy goes against what his family wants him to do, which is to scavenge for food, and Remy basically wants to be a cook. But Podcast Son, doesn't the Prodigal Son want his father's inheritance? Okay, so there is a similarity here between the two characters of that general feeling both shared by Remy and the Prodigal Son of rebellion and not wanting to accept what your father wants you to do. And I'm not saying Remy's dad is perfect, but we're just talking about a parallel here between the son figures in these two stories. So Remy's separated from the family, he lives in luxury for a bit and engages in this deception with Linguini just as the prodigal son squanders his wealth. Remy isn't engaging in this cooking career in the most truthful manner. So he's basically gotten himself in all of this mess, and by the end of the movie, his father comes running to Remy and basically saves him from death. Here you might be asking, Podcast Son, isn't Remy's brother not mean to him? And in the parable that Jesus talks about, the prodigal son's brother is really indignant that this guy's come home. And my response to that is to just not think too hard about it. So, no, this is like the good ending to the prodigal son parable, because the context of how Jesus talked about this parable is that this was directed towards the Pharisees, and the right response of the Pharisees would be to be more accepting and not to be like the older brother. So what I'm trying to say here is that the Pharisees should basically be like Remy's brother here and be helping to save the prodigal son to come back home, and hey, don't think too hard about it. So in the end, right, both stories have this element of forgiveness. They both share the mercy shown by the father and the grace that is being offered to us. The big difference here, though, is that Remy's dad isn't the perfect father, right? Because only God is the perfect father who knows all things. With that being said, you might have been wondering why I made this video in the first place, and it's basically because it's my friend's birthday and I only found out about it yesterday, and she really wanted me to do a video on how Ratatouille was a Christian anime, and I don't have a present for her either, so hey, happy birthday. However, it's also a good opportunity for you, my dear subscriber, to actually think critically as well, because obviously some of the connections that I made in this video were incredibly tenuous. And I honestly do encourage you to comment your opinion if you disagree and I've made a terrible lapse in judgment in any of these Christian anime videos. So just as we think critically and not merely passively watch movies, TV shows, and anime, don't have the consumer mindset as well when watching my videos. I'm not a pastor, right? I haven't been to seminary, so don't treat my channel as if I was an elder in your church leadership. I'm a fellow brother in Christ who has some things to share about how I watch anime as a Christian. So properly do take this opportunity to honestly reflect how you, dear viewer, consume the media around you, because it's absolutely vital for us as Christians to take every thought captive and not be passively consuming everything around us. For which, if you are interested in a proper Christian anime video you want to critique, So No Freerun might just be for you.